Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pitchside Podcast channel. I am your host, the HOD of the BSB. Like, share, comment on this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel and enable notifications to receive all the updates from these match recaps and all the other content on the channel, of course, including our podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify, Google Podcast or any other platform. And of course, follow us on social media at PSP on Twitter, Pitchside Pod on Instagram. Join us for more and support us to produce more content on the channel. And we're coming here to you straight after the second leg between Milan and Manchester United in the Europa League. Manchester United managed to settle the deal and, grab and get the job done really in Milan. 1-0 was the result, but it wasn't exactly about the result. I think the devil always hides in the details. Of course, congratulations for United. You cannot take their merit overall, but definitely there's some details worth looking at. It wasn't the perfect start for Man United. Yes, it was the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. They were pretty, quicker than usual, in that is they wanted to rush scoring the early goal. Milan, I think, knew that and perfectly sat deep, tried to just block them from the off, tried to just sit deep, tighten the spaces, not allow the players to run in behind. That's what they did, and they were really good at it for the first 15 minutes or so. United tried to stretch the game out from the beginning, but they had a problem doing that because of their final decision making. The final ball in the final third has been so sloppy in the first half. It wasn't that good from Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes couldn't dictate the pace, couldn't really whip balls in behind because the players weren't running and they weren't finding space. Greenwood and James in particular were pretty sloppy in that first half, giving the ball away as well a couple of times. It wasn't exactly the best of performances. AC Milan then, after those first 15 minutes, took the game to Manchester United, pressed them, went high on them, really worked in the midfield quite a lot in front of Scott McTominay and Fred, who I thought were pretty bad in the first half, and I expect them to be a little bit more quicker because they are, much better as a combination than, say, Matic and McTominay or Fred and Matic together. I mean, I expected a lot better from United in the first half, but definitely Milan had the game under control for the first 45 minutes. The left-hand side for Man United in particular was pretty paralysed, I would say. Marcus Rashford, has been absent. He didn't get a lot of the balls. He didn't get any, really, in those first half. Few other times that United could have gotten through the lines of Milan and could have found spaces behind their midfield, behind their centre halves. The recovery runs of the defenders were brilliant. The way the defenders were setting up was brilliant from AC Milan. It didn't allow Man United to do much on the ball, and changes were needed for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side, and those changes were coming and definitely affected the game. Paul Pogba was introduced for Marcus Rashford. Clearly, the youngster winger didn't feel fine in the first half, so he's substituted by Paul Pogba, and that substitution didn't take a lot to take effect and to produce the magic that it needed. In the 48th minute, from pretty much, not a coincidence when I say it's the first through ball where Bruno Fernandes found space behind the defenders for, to whip a ball in. Wan-Bissaka sets himself up. The first shot comes back from the defenders. A bit of a sloppy defending from AC Milan. Suoli Homete, I think, could have done really, really better in that position. You cannot really stand on the ball in that tight situation like that, particularly when Fred pressing you like that. It bounces off in. Paul Pogba in the right place at the right time. Brilliant finish from him. 1-0 for Manchester United, and from there, that's the goal I think that United needed. Definitely AC Milan paid the price for playing a risky game at the 0-0. They didn't try to do much, really. They didn't exactly, made a lot of mistakes, but they didn't try to do much going forward. That was costly, and after the 1-0, the game completely changed towards Man United. They were a little bit quicker, they found their edge, they found their momentum. Bruno Fernandes started moving a little bit around, starting, delivering balls in the middle, trying to whip balls behind the defenders. AC Milan themselves were stretched after that goal, looking for the equaliser, going really high and leaving too much space, and on a couple of glorious occasions, Man United could have really made it too, but again, the final decision making, the final ball wasn't exactly good. The contributions of Paul Pogba were, I think, immense in the second half. It gave Man United something to focus on, something to lean on that left-hand side, to support Luke Shaw in particular, who felt like an isolated man in the first half compared to Wan-Bissaka, who was supporting James and Fernandes and Greenwood, and Luke Shaw, had to do the offensive work on his own, with Rashford being injured and unable really to do much in the first half. As I mentioned, AC Milan went for it, went high. They put Ibrahimovic on for Castillejo. Pretty expected. Castillejo didn't do a lot. He was playing pretty much as the, false nine sort of, but he definitely didn't add anything whatsoever to the game. Took off, Ibrahimovic in, and Milan started whipping long balls, looking for Ibrahimovic to try and play it down. However, the final decision making from Milan this time was pretty bad. The sloppiness transitioned from Man United to them in the second half, and they couldn't do a lot of significant stuff on the ball. Only a couple of opportunities where United were stretched, surprisingly in the second half, where they didn't need to really to just try and score the second goal and kill the game dead. AC Milan almost bounced on them and scored the equaliser on a couple of occasions, but definitely a couple of saves from Dean Henderson as well. Deserves the mention, deserves the praise in this second half. Overall, this was a pretty deserved win for United, at least in the second half of the game. Like, overall on both legs, I don't think United did a lot enough to win, but AC Milan, also didn't do a lot enough to deserve to win on both legs. Definitely qualifying to the quarterfinal in competitions like that needs some sort of small details to be capitalized on, and United certainly capitalized on the small moment of a lapse of concentration from AC Milan to qualify to the quarterfinal. Congratulations for them. That's it from me for this match recaps. I'm with the boy, the HOD, the PSP. Like, share, comment on this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and enable notifications to receive all the updates from these match recaps and all the content on the channel. And of course, follow us on social media. I'm at PSP on Twitter, SitePod on Instagram. Listen to our podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. And until next time, goodbye.